Hey everyone, and welcome to course request for the 2025-2026 school year. Just like we did last year, I'm going to go through some classes and options for you guys here on this video, and then walk you through how to schedule your classes in your individual CAT classes. Each CAT teacher currently has a paper with your information on how to log into the system and to put those requests in. I will warn you guys that this year's class options are a little different, so please make sure you're paying attention and that you're aware of these changes, okay? So to start, these are the required courses for each grade, okay? So as a freshman, you're required to take your 4 core classes: Algebra 1, English 1, American History, Biology. If you've taken them in the 8th grade and are advanced, then it's a different story, okay? But these are the basic required courses for each grade level, okay? Sophomores: Geometry, English 2, Government and Economics, Physical Science. Juniors, you need to either take Algebra 2, Integrated Math, or Data Science as a math class, World History, Great American Authors, and an Advanced Science. And then seniors, you have to take Data Science, CCP Math, or Integrated Math, depending on what you took the year before, a 4th English, Personal Finance, and Senior Seminar. And a reminder that one elective throughout high school must be a fine art. Seniors, you can also do late arrival for one of your electives, or you can choose to do work study, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. Okay. Freshmen, just a reminder, you have already received 0.25 PE credits, and you will be receiving the second 0.25 PE credit during CAT through an assignment with me. And that is a result of a new part of our schedule that you guys are not going to like. Okay, so I'm just going to lay it out there right now that there will be no high school physical education classes offered next school year. Okay, so there's no weightlifting, there's no lifetime sports. Okay, moving forward, students will get all of the PE credit that they need in the 7th and the 8th grade. Okay, which means in high school you will not have any gym options. Okay, just please keep that in mind as we go through these. First up are our English courses, okay? So as a freshman, you can do English 1, English 1 Honors, or CCP English, and it just kind of goes throughout there, okay? As juniors, you're either in Great American or Contemporary, and then as seniors, the 2 new options this year are Business English or Public Speaking, okay? So we're still trying to figure out what those classes look like and which options we're going to offer. So on the course request, you're able to pick one or both options. If this is a class that might interest you as your English option, please choose that one so that we know which one is more popular. Okay. Science courses. As you know, we have a lot of science options here at Paint Valley. So the required ones are biology and physical science. And then from there, you have to pick one more of our other options as your 3rd advanced science course. If you're interested in an honors diploma, you have to have 2 advanced science courses, okay? If you are looking for a class that is similar to PE, I would highly suggest checking out Mrs. Williams' Science of Lifelong Fitness. She kind of teaches you how the body works and how to continue to be physically active for the rest of your life. And they do play games and stuff in there periodically every week. So I would highly suggest taking advantage of that if you are interested in a PE. The next thing are our history courses, okay? So as freshmen, you have to take American history, and as sophomores, you have to take government economics. Juniors, you have to take world history. Now, there's a little bit of wiggle room here. If you would like to take the CCP options, we can make that work, okay? But American history covers American history, and American government covers government, okay? If you want to take it in addition to having already taken those other general classes at Paint Valley, that's totally fine too, okay? And then finally, Geoanthro with Mr. Garner is your other option, okay? So the big thing is that you have to have 3 social studies credits or history courses to graduate high school. So American history, government, and world history. And then if you would like an honors diploma, you have to have a 4th one. So make sure you plan accordingly. Fine art courses. Art 1 is what you have to take before you can take any other fine art course. After that, there's ceramic options, advanced art classes, advanced art classes and yearbook. Okay. For your foreign language courses, if you want to have an honors diploma, you have to take at least 3 years of Spanish. So just please plan accordingly there. Okay. In regards to our business and technology courses, this year we are only going to be offering Introduction to Business for the freshmen through juniors, and then seniors you will have to take Personal Finance and Senior Seminar with Mrs. Hawkins. It's a required course, and we will be offering CCP options for both this year. So if you are a senior who would like to get CCP credit for Senior Seminar and Personal Finance, please make sure you select the correct course appropriately. The Senior Seminar CCP course is called Business Communications, just so that you're aware. And then new this year is our job placement program. So for seniors, you can choose job placement, and you can either do it for half a day or all day, depending on what credits you still have remaining. The big thing is that you have to make sure you get your English, math, and personal finance senior sim requirements done. But then after that, you are free to work. So for example, if you come in the morning to take your math and English and personal finance senior sim options, in the afternoon you can work the entire time, and you are required to do 15 hours a week for half a day, or 30 hours a week if you are doing a whole day job placement. And then you will submit your weekly pay stubs to Mrs. Hawkins through a Google Classroom. So at the beginning of the year, if you have chosen to do that program, we will have you come in for an introduction day early on, where you sign the paperwork and you get kind of walked through the requirements of the course, and then you're free to start working. And there's no requirement on what the job is. It just has to be, your employer has to agree to the contract, and so do you and your parents and us here at the school. So if that's something that interests you, please fill out the appropriate paperwork and select that as an option. Finally, our domestic science courses this year are going to be family living and food and nutrition like usual, but our new addition is life skills. So in this class, you're going to learn important things on just kind of how to be an adult in the real world, like how to write a check, how to do like financial planning, how to do laundry, how to cook basic meals. We're going to go over a lot of different things in this class, but it's really just an introduction to life course. So the other options that you guys have, besides electives, are we have a couple of different study hall options that kind of, you can either do your typical study hall, which if that's the case, if you want a typical study hall, please just leave the option blank on your request form. Only fill out 6 classes or request 6 classes instead of requesting 7. But if you would like your study hall to be something a little different, this year we're going to be offering hallway monitor options. This will allow you to get your community service seniors. That is a requirement for personal finance and senior sim. You will either be placed in the middle school, or some of you might even be placed in the high school to help with hall monitor duties, checking passes, making sure kids are where they're supposed to be, etc., etc. And then another option is a reading intervention program that we're partnering with the elementary to do, where you will sign up to work on sight words and work on reading with an elementary student a couple times a week. And that will typically be in the afternoon. So if you're not planning to be here, or you're not able to be here in the afternoon, I would not suggest signing up for that option, okay? Then as always, seniors, you can choose to do late arrival for one of your electives, okay? Which would mean you have to arrive at school by 8:50. So that's basically the gist of our required courses. But the big thing that I want to talk to you guys about, for you underclassmen especially, so your rising freshmen and sophomores, is we're super proud to introduce our new program called ADAP, which stands for Associate's Degree Attainment Program. This is a more intentional partnership between us here at Paint Valley and Southern State Community College. As many of you know, we've always had CCP classes at Paint Valley through Southern State, but now we have partnered with Southern State to create 2 specific pathways that will allow you to get your associate's degree while in high school at Paint Valley without having to leave Paint Valley's campus. So basically, you start as a sophomore, and from sophomore, junior, and senior year, you take classes in a specific order that I have lined out for you and that Southern State has lined out for you. And if you complete those classes in that order, then you will graduate with an associate's degree either in science or an associate's degree of business. Okay, so I will warn you, the business one's a little harder at the moment, but we're working on making it a little more easily attainable. But the science one is super attainable and something we're really excited about. So if you are interested in this program, please send me an email and let me know that you're interested. And then we're also going to have a meeting with 8th graders and freshmen just about it. So other than that, I'm really excited for you guys to get to schedule. I think our schedule for next year is really coming along nicely, and I'm really excited for some of the opportunities that you guys are going to get to have. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys through like how to actually put in the course request. So here we go. You guys all have a letter that your teacher will hand out or has already handed out. That letter has these similar instructions, and there's also instructions in the back of the course catalog, which can be found online at pvstudentservices.org or under scheduling 101, or you can see the paper copy that your teacher has. So if you go to https://si-public.metasolutions.net, you will log in using the username and password that I provided for you on that piece of paper. And it should look like this screen right here. So next, you come to a screen that looks like the one below, and this is where you're going to put in your course request, okay? So there are multiple different options to search for a course. So you can search by department, area of study, course subject area. So like area of study and course subject area, for example, are the areas that I labeled them as on the slideshow. So you can also do credits. So you can do classes that are a half a credit or a full credit, depending on how you want to do it. Every student has to be enrolled in at least 5 credits. I have it so you have to request at least 6 credits. That allows you to request a study hall. So basically, if you want a study hall, only request 6 classes instead of 7. I don't guarantee study halls, so if you only request 6, there's a chance you will get put in a class that you don't ask for. I'm going to try really hard this year to give you the classes that you request. I know I've not always been the best about that, but I'm going to really do my best, and hopefully we are able to do that. And if not, I'm going to apologize in advance. You can also click a checkbox that allows completed courses to pop up. So, for example, if you want to take Sonic Band again, for example, make sure you click include completed courses because that's how you're going to find those classes. So once it pops up, you will click plus to add a single course, or you can click checkboxes and add more than one course at a time. Okay. The big thing is you need to make sure that you approve your courses. Okay. Just because you add them to your course request doesn't mean that you've approved them. Okay. You have to make sure that you fully submit your course request, or it's going to be a pain in the butt. I'm going to be emailing you or calling you down. Okay. So in order to submit the request, which is what I'm talking about, once you're satisfied with the list of requests, make sure you click submit request. Okay. So then it's approved and then you're done. And now you're just going to wait for me to call you in if I have any questions, and we should be good. So at this time, I'm going to let you guys go ahead and open up your Chromebooks, go to the website listed here. I'm going to leave this up, and your teacher can end the video whenever they choose, but I'll just leave this screen up so that you can see kind of the instructions. Okay, so thank you guys for listening. I know that this is not always the most fun thing, but I know that you guys are very excited about next school year, and I will tell you that the teachers are too. There's a lot of cool things that we're offering that we haven't been able to offer before, and we hope you guys take advantage of them. So, as always, it's a great day to be a Payne Valley Bearcat. Thank you.